There was a time in my own life when I believed I wasn't enough. I tried my best to hide it from people, but deep inside, I carried the same fear many of us do, the fear of not being perfect. And maybe that's why this story hits so close to my heart, because it reminds me of the phase one once lived through. In a quiet town surrounded by hills, lived a 16-year-old girl named Aisha, someone very much like you. And someone very much like who I once was. She was kind, sensitive, and always trying to make people proud. Yet every night, she stared into the mirror and whispered the same painful sentence, "I am not good enough." She compared herself constantly, her grades, her looks, her confidence, even her smile. On social media, she felt invisible. At home, she felt unnoticed. And at school, she felt replaceable. One day, after failing a math test, Aisha sat alone on a bench. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she looked at her paper and tore it apart in frustration. She whispered, almost too softly, "Why can't I be perfect like everyone else?" What she didn't realize was that her old art teacher, Sir Remen, had been watching her from a distance. He quietly walked over, sat beside her, and placed a small wooden box in her hand. Confused, she opened it. Inside was a clay pot, cracked, uneven, and imperfect. "Sir, this pot is broken," she said. He nodded gently. "Look again." Aisha lifted the pot closer, and her eyes widened. Every crack was filled with shining gold. "It's repaired with a Japanese art called kintsugi," the teacher explained. "They don't hide the cracks, they highlight them," she frowned. "But why would someone show the broken parts?" Sir Remen smiled softly. "Because the cracks tell a story. They show strength. They show survival. They show that something can be more beautiful because it has been broken." Aisha felt something shift inside her. "But sir, I'm full of flaws. How can I be beautiful?" He looked at her with warmth. "Beta, nobody is perfect. Not me. Not the students who got full marks. Not the people you admire online. We all have cracks, some you see, some you don't, but those cracks don't make us unworthy. They make us human." She stared at the golden cracks in the pot, and for the first time, she didn't feel ashamed of her own imperfections. Her teacher continued, "The world doesn't need perfect people, it needs real people. Your mistakes don't define you. Your scars don't limit you. Your flaws don't make you less, they make you unique." Aisha blinked through her tears. "Then what should I do?" she whispered. "Stop trying to be perfect," he said. "Start trying to be you." That day marked a turning point not just for Aisha, but for anyone listening to this story, including you and me. She didn't magically become the topper. She didn't suddenly become fearless. But she became something far more important. She became enough for herself. She began answering questions in class, even if they might be wrong. She started drawing again, even though her lines weren't straight. She learned to smile at her reflection, even on bad days. She lived with fewer apologies and more authenticity. People around her noticed not because she suddenly became perfect, but because she finally accepted herself. Aisha learned the most important truth of her life: perfection is a lie. Self-worth is real. Every flaw carries strength. Every scar carries wisdom. Every mistake carries growth. And today, as you listen to this story, I want you to hear this deeply and personally. You are not meant to be perfect. You are meant to be you, strong, imperfect, real, and irreplaceable. So tonight, when you look in the mirror, don't search for perfection. Search for progress, search for courage, search for the person who survived every bad day and is still here. Look at yourself and say the words you deserve to hear. "I am enough. I always have been." Because your worth was never measured by perfection, it was always measured by your heart.